All right, guys, here we are to talk about Camp Slaughter. 2005's Camp Slaughter, aka Camp Days.
Yeah.
Had you seen this one before, Lee?
I believe I had. I'm not sure if I made it all the way through, but that may just be my mind playing tricks on me.
Yes, this is an interesting movie. I won't say...
You've seen this before as well.
I have seen it
Okay.
before. This stars the kid from Kyle XY.
Yeah.
Who, this is before he became famous. And it shows.
I know nothing about Kyle XY except that he doesn't have a belly button, and I'm not sure why I know that.
No belly button.
But there you go.
But for someone who for a moment at least was like an ABC Family star,
Yeah.
to be in this movie, you're like
It's one of their first. This is video, right? This is old
Yes.
movie, right? Bad movie. In all the ways
Don't
that
spoil
matter. Well, we often give our introductory thoughts here. It's not well done.
No,
The audio,
it is
the video,
definitely
things
a
are bad.
low-budget movie, yes,
Right.
with audio and video problems.
Your usual
akin to
mixture of things.
A starting out filmmaker or
Yeah.
what have you. Very zoomed in shots. Not getting a background plate of audio to make your scenes sync together.
Yes, we'll get more into its technical failings later on, I'm sure.
And it has a plot that is pretty amateur, but not uninteresting.
It has one or two interesting things about it, which is what's so strange and interesting to me.
Yes.
Would you say, though, that overall this is something people should watch?
I could say this would be an interesting one for a group. Alone, it's a bit of a chore. Without people to riff on the movie with and to kind of take the sting of the parts that don't land out.
Okay.
And to mock the parts that don't make sense, it doesn't have that same charm. This is a group watch.
Because you're going to want someone there to be like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is this happening?
Yes.
And for them to be like, I don't know either, man.
Exactly.
Right? You need that sort of joy. It's not that it's so bad that it becomes funny or good, though, either, right?
Not really.
It's just that if you wanted, if you are a fan of low-budget horror, if you are a fan of, bad movie horror, right? It's got a bunch of deaths, a bunch of things.
Yes.
This might be something to fold into those funny movie nights that people don't have anymore.
I think
right?
it fits into that category perfectly.
I agree.
The general elevator pitch of the movie is a group of teens on a road trip.
Their car breaks down predictably. They wake up and they're surrounded by campers. They're in a camp. The camp is in 1981. Wow. Problems ensue from there.
And boy, do they.
Boy, do they. We already mentioned, it's a horror movie. I don't think it's built as a comedy. Certain things make me laugh. I don't know.
I agree that there are funny parts to this, but I don't think they are intentional, yes.
Right. So there are deaths at this camp.
There is a ton to talk about in this movie. If you've seen this, follow us over to spoilers. If not, pull out now or not.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Camp Slaughter, aka Camp Days.
I hate this fucking camp.
We always have to drop the AKA. I like that.
This movie is ahead of its time. I love that you have an opening where it's the guy saying, "Don't move so fast."
Slow down, jeez.
Now you don't often see that, and I think that's progressive.
Sure.
It is the guy being displayed as the prude now, and that's something. We have at Lake Hiawatha where they are singing their merry camp songs as this movie opens. Come to Hiawatha, there to find good cheer, and to make good friends who last throughout the year. Now that we're in spoilers, I'm just going to jump and say that doesn't make any fucking sense.
What?
Any of the movie.
Oh, God. I was going to say, what?
So we're in spoilers. I'm not gonna dilly-dally and dance throughout the whole thing. We can address it, but I want to address it all with the caveat of knowing that they are in a loop of time.
Yes.
And every night everyone gets murdered, almost literally.
We need you to believe us.
We needed you to see it before we told you about it, otherwise you never would have believed us.
We just want to get the hell out of here.
So do we!
Yes.
Everyone gets murdered every night.
But later in the day, it all started happening again. Everything. All the killings. All over again. This place is hell.
The next day they start over, and they get murdered again.
Everyone I had seen dead was alive.
They know this. They know they are in a loop, and that is what doesn't make this movie make any sense.
Some people know it.
Why it's only some is half the bullshit.
Yes, I don't know why only some people know it. I don't know why it's only the counselors, including the guy that they make live in the barn now.
They kept me on as groundskeeper. I had to live in the barn away from camp.
And all the new people who know it.
The way they addressed it, though.
They act like the kids don't know it.
Well, we
try to give them a little piece every day.
But that's what made me think, like, well, because he says, like, oh, you know, we try to make the day as nice as possible for them because, you know, we know at night they're going to be murdered.
We know what the night will bring.
And I'm like, okay, so is this to keep them in line and not freak out because they know they're going to die? Because they don't ever address it like, oh, because you know, eventually you find out that they are the murderers, and maybe it's because the ones that actually did the killing are stuck in a loop.
Just those bastards. Jesus freak Daniel, that prick Ivan, those two little fucks, Reuben and Michelle.
That, you know, that makes sense.
Right.
But because it's not explicitly said, and early on when the loop starts, you don't know that they're the murderers. You're like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, he spent a lot of this movie in a certain confusion. And honestly, this is the only interesting part of the movie.
Yeah.
I actually, I don't hate, because, at first you're like, oh, car breaks down, and now they're in a camp, and the camp's from the past. They're like, what the fuck? This sucks.
Grab your bags. You can clear up the camp if you want. Let's go.
This cannot be happening.
And then everyone gets murdered, but you may not be realizing, because it's flown by so easily, that there's actually 30 minutes left to the movie.
Yeah.
And they wake up the next morning, and the counselors who were definitely dead are like, hey guys.
Hey guys!
We've been looking for you.
You should have told us you wanted to camp out.
Right? And they're trying to play it off at first, right?
Yeah.
So there's all this stuff you could do with that, where they go like, wait, you remember too? I thought it was only us. Most people here don't remember. There'd be a whole awesome thing about people remembering or lying about remembering or not remembering. It'd be this awesome thing. But no, they just say the line we already said, which is we try to make the day fun because the night brings the terrors of the death and stuff. Yes.
Try to give them a few hours of joy, of life, because we know what the night brings.
Because things that just had me blatantly questioning was, I'm like, okay, why does that kid ask for a lifeguard that when he goes swimming if he knows he's going to be brutally massacred at night?
He does not.
I'm like, okay, he doesn't know. But there's not a rational explanation. There's no rules in this that state why things are happening and why this, that, and other thing. But it does pan out that just people that have killed somebody get to live it again.
Once they meet the guy who lives in the barn, he says something like, I don't know why I'm stuck in a loop too, but I guess a sin is a sin.
I'm sentenced to the same hell as these fucks. A sin's a sin, I guess.
That's their punishment? Is they get to murder them every night forever?
But if that were true, if
a
sin was a sin, almost every one of them, premarital sex, doing drugs, blah, blah, blah. No, but that would be a fun...
The original sin of the murder.
I'm pretty sure he was getting stoned.
Yeah, no, but but a kid died. He's like
I'm joking
part of the
that
thing.
he crushed Abel with a rock and he's getting stoned.
Well, I thought you meant that he fell asleep while he was supposed to be lifeguarding because he was getting stoned.
Yeah.
Which may also be true, but that's not shown.
But what I think that would have made for a better movie is if literally every sin made it repeat.
Yeah, but that's just the word choice.
Because then you
used.
wouldn't.
Yeah, it's not.
It would be a bet you could actually hide the idea that everyone's a murderer and this and that, because after a minute anyone that loops is a murderer. I think another fun thing would have been our main characters mostly all die.
Fuck!
And I think it would have been interesting if that the final girl, put a little bit of plot logic to it, and she kills some people so that she can loop
fuck somebody.
Something.
No, yeah, you could see that someone, imagine only one of the new kids remembers, but they killed someone in self-defense during the first night they were there.
Yeah.
And then the other people, were like, oh shit, he's one of us. He's like, I'm not. Kyle XY would have been perfect for this.
You don't see what I see.
He's doing this whole B plot about being psychic, which is fucking ridiculous.
Psychic and a pedophile.
Yeah,
he's
gay
totally
psychic
hot
pedophile,
for that kid in the camp.
Completely fine. Who was hot for a murderer? He finds out later.
I better get you out of here.
Yes, it's such a weird.
How weird! There's so many things with Lace. Oh, I'm certified. I could watch him. You just take the word of some random stranger on the street that one of your kids is going to put his life in his hands and let him be his lifeguard.
It's one of the strangest things that happens repeatedly.
Tommy.
I'll go with you. I'm certified.
That's CPR?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll go with me.
I'm gonna go for a swim at night. You need something. Wow, find someone. This whole I went to camp. It's not like summer sleepaway long-term camp or whatever. So I don't know if that's a real thing, but it feels really contrived. And I feel like had it done something, and they do something, there's a lot of weird gay pedophilia / murder happening.
You're eyeing him like a cheetah eyeing a gazelle.
But I'm like, if you put something that clunky into your script, it should go towards doing something interesting, right?
A lot of weird, clunky things do happen at camp. I was a camp counselor, and things were definitely like, you should not let your kids be watched by pretty much children.
Sure.
A lot of
you just
really
met?
haphazard things.
Yes.
Yeah, you just take, like, me and a couple of counselors be like, okay, taking the canoe, we leave. And we just leave for a couple hours. You're like, what? Now, like, some other poor bastards watching 80 kids.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's fun for us.
Well, we should have had that in it. Yeah.
We don't know that we're in any real danger.
Fool, have you ever seen any Jason movies?
I think that they tried to cram too many things at the end. So you had this plot of the looping murderers killing every day, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay, there's those 4 murderers. And then once you add in, like, the groundskeeper, and I'm a good murderer.
As long as I'm trapped here, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers every goddamn night.
No.
And then the flip of the literal ending, God.
Okay, so like the groundskeeper first, like I'm the good murderer. I'm looping too. Now, finally, it makes sense because you're like, wait, during the first night, someone murdered the one archery chick who murders people, like in her bed. Even though there was already blood in the bed, I think it was very like weird.
It was take 2.
Take 8 or something crazy. But so like that's why the first murders don't make sense.
Yeah.
And later they show you, oh, now I'm a good, because they show you this weird hook, sharp hook thing. That he used to kill her.
Yeah.
Right. As if. Right.
It's like a baseball bat with like an axe and a hook or something.
I don't even know what it is. It's some camp thing. But this is an attempt to be interesting, right? Mm-hmm. So we show you the first night, and then it's a loop. They show the new kids. Look at that kid get murdered over there. Nothing we can do, or something, right? This whole weird plot line that happens.
And every day we try to save him, but we can't.
Which also doesn't make sense. If you know your whole day loops, and you also have studied who dies first, why don't you all stop it?
Well, because it's them murdering them, I guess. But yes.
No. But I mean, as
this
a person watching the movie going through, you're like, wait a minute.
Yes.
There's how many of you?
Right. This is them trying to prove to the new kids that it is a loop because they don't believe them. Because why would they? Probably because you just woke up.
And how close are they to that actual murder?
Yes, like 10 feet away from the murder.
It's like you're in the zoo behind glass. They're like feet away.
There. He's gonna get strangled.
Look like he's just crying over a melted chocolate bar.
Right. Exactly. So it's trying to do a really interesting thing where like something repeats but things change every time, and you see that that pattern, and like your brain is like, wait, that doesn't make sense given what I know, and then you learn more. It's trying to do this really awkwardly lofty thing that I give it credit for, but yes, it's just very confusing.
It bit off a bit more than they could chew. Right. I do love that the self-defense murderer of like, I have to save these kids is also like setting traps and things.
I wasn't gonna fail this time. I was gonna stop those motherfuckers. So I grabbed anything I could use. Axes, ropes, spears.
We're like, when they open the door, it's gonna put an arrow through his neck and... When they open the door, it's gonna pull the thing that I have him hanging by. And like the kid's like passed out standing up on a stool. And I'm like, how did you do any of this?
Oh no, the whole thing. You can just pick anything, But like the good murderer, did he just decide to start good murdering that day? Is he always good murdering every night too? What's going on?
I believe every night he's like, I must try to save as many kids as I can.
He also knows about midnight and the whole weird rules of it.
That's
and stuff.
Another thing where I go, why are you steadfast with like these are the rules?
You're right on the edge of the boundary.
Boundary?
Of this death trap. This patch of road is linked to us. At midnight, you should be able to get out of here.
Happened a year ago today. This must be the day you can get out. Why do you believe that? Why do you believe any of this? This is
21 years ago. Yeah, and then like a bunch of people of like the new kids whose car broke down died. So I'm like, okay, here's the plot. You need to do another loop or something, and then now that you know this, right? Because maybe only now the one chick who didn't die remembers, or maybe vice versa, right? Do something where now, okay, it's the day again, but you skip parts, and now you just like build on it, right? But no, she just leaves. And this is the other part that you started mentioning, which is the actual button, the ending.
Yeah.
Where the one chick, Jen, has escaped, and she's in the big city now.
It seems like she may have written a story about what happened or something.
A book about the thing.
Whatever.
They just drop a thing. Like
she certainly doesn't know what email is.
There's a book
or
thing.
Instant Messenger.
That computer is some 80s to 90s ass weird old school. It's a crazy, and the way the images load, it's like 1994 or something like that. Even it's so weird.
They were filming with a weird frame rate or something.
It's so
it was
weird.
Refreshing oddly.
The whole thing is so weird.
But she gets just an email or an AIM message, whatever it is.
Who the fuck is sending me a message?
Well, probably your publisher. Bitch hates talking to me.
How the hell did they get this address?
Of like the two killers, like, can't wait to see you. Or
Big
some
fans.
Bullshit. Yeah.
And
I'm like, what am I to believe here?
We are to believe that they got out.
Obviously, but
and now they're coming for her because I don't know.
Like, why?
Because we should say, we should say because they're the reason why the murderers, and there's 4 of them, all of different classes from D&D.
Yeah.
You have your ranger, your rogue. Okay, they they have the idea that they can swap themselves out.
To escape 1981 in this fucking camp.
We need to find replacements for us.
Yeah, as long as someone takes their place, they can get out. That'd be the same weight and height. They don't say that, but that'd be funny.
Some weird thing, some weird
That's
snatch
like a
the
Turtles in Time thing.
Yeah, no, it's some crazy. And again, you're like, why do you think that? And that doesn't even happen. It isn't like one of them gets out or something, or 3 of them get out then, right? I think we are to believe that in the several years later, or whatever it was, that this, someone else's car broke down, and it worked, and they got out, and now they're coming for her, right? As if they were super murderers who are super into murdering just this person, and she's the one that got away, and like that's their thing, and it's like they were trying to use you to get out, and now they're out.
What are
they
your thoughts
doing?
though on the 3 that they killed? Are those guys stuck in the loop now too?
I assume so.
Or not, because if it was only a set number of people and they had to replace or not them, maybe they just died and they don't get the loop back over. But maybe they do. I wonder. And if they do get to, that would have been a better stinger for me. Would have been, even if you loaded up where a car pulls up and breaks down, same deal as them. Like it just starts real quick with that.
Yeah.
But now our 3 former champions are there, and now it's 3 on 4, and they know what's happening, and they can stop it or do this and that. Like, you guys gotta get out of here right now. These guys are murderers. Blah blah, like something like that.
Yeah.
Or even if they did get out and replaced it, there would be these 4 people that could actually have a good time every day and not murder people every night. So like,
yeah, and everything's just fine.
Good shit, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be great. And then it's like dun dun some stinger.
But you would be trapped in the 80s in a looping day forever. That's kind of shitty. But as far as how bad things could be, that's certainly not the worst.
It's not the worst. No.
No. 80s is a
so
fun time.
I'm a Doctor Who fan. I believe you are as well.
I am.
New Who and all that stuff. Whenever I hear time and loops and things, that's where my brain goes.
Yeah, people don't understand time. It's not what you think it is.
Then what is it?
Complicated.
And I would have liked them to find out at some point that they've been looping many times already, and but they couldn't remember it or something like that. And someone goes, "Wait, what do you mean I died last night? Wait, do you know now?" And they go, "No, now what?" And it goes, "Holy shit! Most people never do it, but some people it takes longer than others or something." And then one person was like the first, and he told someone else, and now there's a whole thing.
Yeah, maybe you add on thing like kids having bad dreams, and it's really like they're dying every night.
It's this whole fucking thing. It's this whole related thing, or
there's
they're doing
something here.
There's something
and Happy
here.
Death Day did it a little better than this. with like, you know, the Groundhog's Day-esque thing, because they don't loop enough times for it to be really worth anything. I think you could have avoided having the secondary killer for good and that stinger at the end and just looped properly like 7 times, because it seemed like they have a hard on for showing fun deaths or whatever.
Okay.
And some of them are more fun than others.
I came.
But they could have done more if you kept repeating. Like they even threw in a dream sequence, which you know, the Scream Kings are all about dream sequences because you can just run deaths in.
Because you can have extra. So like I think it's 40 minutes in.
Yeah. And it's a long scene.
So okay, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. The like drama theater director, counselor, whatever he is.
He's like an adult.
That was pathetic.
He's the oldest person in the movie.
He seems like a 38-year-old man.
Yeah.
Compared to the other 24-year-old men. But like he kills everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just set to this weird music. And there's barely sound effects sometimes. It's all like MOS weird scene. It's like debilitatingly bad. He just kills people one after the other. It's so boring. It goes on for so long. And yeah, it ends up being a dream just so you can show all those people dying.
Yeah.
And then show some of them dying again.
The Kyle XY character, who I don't know his name.
Yeah, call him Kyle XY.
But Kyle XY is just like watching. And you're like, well, this can't be real. He's just standing there. Like, like he's not running away, he doesn't do anything. The way people react in low-budget movies when they're dying is some of my favorite. There's a scene where a kid gets choked up against a tree. While he's shirtless, crying, ginger, and eating chocolate. If you recall this child.
Of course.
And he's being choked to death, but never drops the candy wrapper. He's just like,
Yeah.
And who eats candy like that? He's eating a melty candy bar like, oh, because this is some weird fetish bullshit.
And there we have it.
Yeah.
This is some weird fetish bullshit. I need everyone to know that. I didn't know if we were going to talk about this.
It is much less than some of their other movies. If you look at the
Yes.
trailers, if you go to screamingkings.com, there are some egregious shirtless male
Yeah.
torture porny fucking shit.
Let's unpack that. It's called Scream Kings.
Yeah.
Obviously a reference to Scream Queens. And they just say, we make low-budget horror movies with this, like, retro type
I don't think they made one in a while,
old-school aesthetic. No, I'm pretty sure they've, like, defuncted it or whatever.
Yeah.
But for a time...
When we were making,
paying
like,
attention,
movies, these were, like, a rival film company
they were
to us.
another local-ish, like, right? So, yes, there's a bunch of movies like this that are literally... And you can tell when you watch this, because, yes, it's a bunch of... There's several dudes wearing, like, the half shirt, where
Well,
it's
that's
like,
an 80s thing.
Yes, but that's
the crop top.
Hilarious. For a man, though? What are we
No,
doing
that was the
here?
thing.
Oh.
I
wasn't
remember,
alive during the 80s.
I remember even growing up, people would have a t-shirt on and one of those shirts on top because it would make you sweat more. And they like, as they had their headband or leg warmers on, that would be like the thing.
Yeah, I can see it in like a sports context or something, perhaps.
I think if you look at a lot of 80s
like
camp movies, you will see that. That is a. I won't fault them on that.
Listen,
that's not a fetishy thing.
But they have chosen to do that. The short shorts, the shirtless stuff. You mentioned in the
But
intro.
that's all 80s.
Yes, but that's what they're choosing to make.
Yes,
because
yeah,
they want
yes,
that.
yes.
They want that.
Agreed.
There's a lot of lingering shots of like dudes having been strangled.
Oh, sure.
Wearing just their short shorts.
Let it go. Maybe next time, man.
right?
There's
a
even
bunch of
long,
stuff.
lingering fucking shots of shirtless posters of men.
Yes.
Just because you're like, well, I could get one more man into this bunk that way.
Yeah, everyone's got posters of other shirtless men for some reason in their bunk, and they're like, this is normal, this is fine, it's the 80s, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And, real quick, you mentioned the intro, where like the guy is like, hey, slow down, we don't like know each other well enough or something like that.
Slow down, jeez.
Come on, Bill, we don't have much time.
I need to take a whiz first.
That's a theme of weird, like, misogyny, where, like, the other girl doesn't let the guy come in some weird, like, power,
no, it's an
power
interesting
reversal,
role reversal
move.
thing you have here.
I haven't come yet. Are you gonna let me finish?
Tough shit. I came.
And then the one chick who's like a big, thick, weird chick is like is super murdering, horrible. Like very few people in this are like whatever, normal, fairly portrayed type people.
No,
yes.
Even our
However,
main character group of friends, you're like, how do you people even know each other?
Well, fuck me.
You okay? She's a bitch.
She's still back here.
I know.
Like
they
they
don't
don't
seem to know each
seem
other.
like friends. Like two of them are brother and sister.
Yeah.
What, like Vader or Vade or whatever, and
yes,
the
Vade.
Hobbit girl, right?
Vade is my brother, and Mario's my best friend.
So, no sex?
Yeah,
they're on a road trip to get an
one girl-
abortion, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah, did you not?
Oh,
pick
is that
up?
what?
Nope. It's not coming till morning.
What about my appointment?
I don't know.
I remember the abortion talk, but is that why they were on the road trip?
They're on a road trip. They have an appointment in Maine or somewhere. Like I guess they're from a state that doesn't have like clinics or whatever.
Just went north or
yeah,
something?
they're driving to an appointment.
I remember the abortion
Yeah.
part. That's another thing. She wants an abortion, and the guy's like, do what you gotta do, but think about God.
Do what your heart tells you to do. But you should also ask what he wants you to do.
Right?
Well, because it seems to be like a Catholic camp, even though they don't ever bring that up. There's a
Yeah.
great. I love reading things on the walls.
Yeah.
On the wall it says, "There's always room for one more." On the shower bathroom wall.
Ah, okay, perfect.
And I really wonder if they wrote that or if that was already there. I need to know.
They chose.
This is a decent camp
They
location.
chose to film it. Yes.
It is a thing. I wonder if this is actually called Camp Hiawatha.
They might change the name.
There's
I don't know.
a Hiawatha in New Jersey. I know, but they do have a going into Maine sign, which you could steal that shot anytime. But I do wonder.
That's a good move. Is to like transplant the camp's location so you don't know where it is, right?
Yeah.
In your movie. Yeah, we get the nice sign, and then like them trying to leave and coming back to the sign, the whole dumb.
Yeah.
We're trapped. It's a brigadoon. The reality's bent
and
around
I like
this
things
place.
like that.
Yes.
When done well, it's very good.
I'll
I
say-
worked on one called The Pond. You can check it out.
Yeah, this one barely makes sense or holds together, though. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's certain shots where you're like, I know this is meaning to do this, but it's not really doing it, right? It's not really working.
Okay, be ready. If we're right, then Nicole and Jay are the first ones to get attacked.
I don't want to see this.
Well, there's some interesting, I mentioned earlier, with just the camera work in general, especially for the first half. It's
Oh,
a
God.
lot of like, let me
Yes.
just film part of your face.
Mario.
Thank you. To our camp over there can clean up. Meet us at the dining hall when you're done.
Rock and roll.
Yes.
And the audio is jarring, where like there are crickets, then it cuts to this shot, there are no crickets.
No, 'cause-
and it's either it's ADR stuff or just the boom aimed a different way without getting background noise.
All night in there, you guys must be hungry. We're just winding down our second summer session.
No, but you can tell there's like a wide shot, and now we're gonna talk. So it's just me, and the camera's like hitting me in the face, right? And I say my line.
Londonites?
London what?
You're dressed like totally rad.
Oh.
And then there's like a notable pause often, and then you hear the background noise of whenever I filmed your shit.
What's up? I'm Vade, this is Mario.
Hey.
Do you have a name?
Which was an hour later, and you go, really? I don't know. And then the background noise cuts out, and it cuts back to close up of me, and it goes back and forth like that for all these dialogue shots.
Hey, I'm Angela, and this is Mario, Jen, invade.
Because it's a low budget and you don't have what you have or whatever, right? But then when you're put, it's a combination of all that badness and then bad editing and bad it's
well, because you can
bad
make
the
up a
whole
lot of
way
that
through.
for free just
Yes.
by recording nothing for a while and running that across the whole background.
Yeah, but you have to care about that and want that to be the thing.
Yeah, and I guess
right?
that's
And
not
that's
what
not-
people were into.
How
for
is
this
how is that going to
marketing.
make the movie make more money? So why do I get it? I understand it.
Yeah,
and if you
do
don't have
it
a lot
for
to
the
work
trailer
with,
only, and it'll be
it's
fine.
Yeah, no, and not everything's like that, and you can tell. Sometimes they're filming
Yeah.
somewhere where they can't control the environment as much, and we know all this because we've been through this ourselves. This is
Of course.
standard stuff for film.
Of the movies this company's made, this is probably the best one.
Yikes.
And
Word up.
I didn't mean that as an insult.
I'm there for it.
There are parts of this that are entertaining enough, while other
Yeah.
things they've done are not, in my opinion, at all.
Yeah.
And I think again, it's worth watching in a group because there's some stuff that's like ridiculous and like fun ridiculous.
And this is like again, whether you know or pick up on the fetish aspect or just the, hey, what is a slasher camp movie supposed to do? It's supposed to murder all these people. So the death toll actually, there's more deaths than there are cast members because
Sure,
of the
they
time.
happen again and again, yeah.
So the dream sequence and like the time looping, right? So this is obviously doing...
And a flashback to add even more deaths.
It made me remember what happened to me. Back in 1977. I was a counselor here at Hiawatha.
more deaths, but more people, right? So yeah, it's definitely doing the things that it's like supposed to be doing, right? That's yeah.
When
we can have fun.
When that one like weapon making chick
Yeah.
just like Hawkeyes everybody with she brings the exact amount of arrows to
a great
kill
scene.
every single person on the
Yes.
beach.
But then she showed up. Fucking Michelle.
And all of them are just like, you have an arrow off screen and you just run and hold it to your wherever it hit.
She nailed each one of them before they could even run.
You and you just hold it and then fall.
Yes.
And it's
It's like
so
shaking,
cheesy
yeah.
that it's almost great.
That's almost great, definitely.
Yeah.
There's something about that.
And that janitor guy, or whoever he is, just like watching. He's like,
Yes.
there was nothing I could do. And he watched her slowly massacre everybody.
Yes.
He completely could have done something.
And then, like a damn coward, I ran.
And he says like, she hit them all before they could start running. Cut to
They're
people
running.
Cut to people running immediately. Yes, no, it's amazing. That's a little amazing. Speaking of archery, there's another shot that I actually liked. It's when the couple. It's when the chick gets shot with an arrow, but the other guy doesn't notice and is going to make out with her again. It's a huge arrow in her. That's dumb. Once he's running though, there's a great shot where it's actually seems to be either stabilized or just like lucky or something. He's running through the woods and stops by a branch. Then it pans down at as he leans down to like catch his breath, and then you hear thrrr, and like he stands up and the camera whips over and someone has fucking stuck an arrow into that tree and it's like tweaked to the end so it goes brrr. That is making a lot out of nothing to make your shit like work.
I liked
It's
what
a
led
brief
to that
thing.
scene though.
Yeah.
They're making out like normal and you hear like
Yeah.
Like
All right, I think it's clear.
and that's just
Of
the
the
sound of
chick
an
getting it?
arrow zipping past and missing.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
And like it's great because like you think that's what that is. And it is, but
Yes.
you've already been, I think, at this point, explained that like this person's a crack shot with the arrow. So you're like, wait, but what is happening? Yeah, they're missing.
Yes.
And then you realize, oh, kid, like is just practicing. The other murderer guy.
Yeah, because he fucking
oh, I'm not
he has
good
to
with
say,
it yet.
Like I'm getting better with the arrows.
I'm getting better with the bow.
And like
Yeah.
his whole thing, yeah. No, there are things that are not horrible in this movie.
I agree.
It's shocking.
I think
Yes.
I think you can do like not even major rewrites, just like cut
Yeah.
parts out and do some little tweaks and film it differently, and this
Yeah.
could be great. I really didn't care for a lot of the characters here.
Yeah.
Some of them, I thought the camp counselors. Let's see, you have like Christian boy
Who is this Jason you keep talking about?
and like seducey, like rapey guy.
I'm Angela. Nice to meet you.
Angela. I knew I'd be visited by an angel today.
And you can pick
Yeah.
which one's which.
I was gonna say, hello down there a minute.
But
Yes.
those guys, I thought were good as bad guys.
Yes.
Because like Christian moral guy, you're like all right, I can see you being evil. And the other guy just has that kind of face where we're like, you'll probably play a bad guy in everything.
Two more, sucker.
I don't know how much more he's actually gone on and done.
No, I didn't know.
The chick who was really mouthy, that was wearing like a weird like boob cutout shirt. She
The
was
Valley Girl?
No, the one that came down with them, the black chick with the hat that's like made of like leather or something.
Jen, right? Yeah.
I don't know anyone's name, but like she is in a lot of things.
Yes.
Like a crazy amount.
She either sings or like plays a singer in a lot of things, and I was like, oh, cool.
The Valley Girl person I actually thought was a good actress.
She might be the
She's
best
in nothing.
actress. Oh.
Get up and do it again!
You're such a psycho.
Shut up and do it!
Oh my god.
I was gonna say Valley Girl, and actually I thought Kyle XY has horrible material, but they were like whenever those characters talk to other characters.
Sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out. I guess I'm just one of those touchy-feely people.
Especially with the weird timing of the editing and the pausing in between the dialogue, it shows off just how bad everything is.
Who the fuck keeps a calendar from 1981 still up and dresses like a rerun of Three's Company?
Dude, take a pill.
You haven't noticed anything.
It's fucked up.
That's it?
And I thought those were the two bright spots, was Valley Girl and Kyle XY.
Kyle XY, so I enjoyed that TV show, but that is a full budgeted TV show, at least for the first season. It had a lot going for it.
One more thing you should see. No belly button.
Right.
And like this movie, which I saw after I saw that show, made me go, oh, he can't act at all.
Oh, he sucks.
Because the Kyle XY character is a very cardboard character who is like fish out of water, like Apple, what is this? Because he's learning, like he's like a baby person.
Just bites a banana without
Yeah, like
peeling
he's that
it
kind of
first.
person.
Sure.
And like, so where I was like, oh, this kid's a fantastic actor. I'm like, maybe he's just so bad, he's perfect for this character. But a lot can be changed
correctly.
based on what a script is and how it's filmed. And edited, of course, can make the worst people amazing. So I won't say that this is too much of a strike against him, because I've seen him do good things.
So, everyone taking stupid pills around here? Juice me!
No, I don't think
I didn't think he was that good.
I don't think either of them are like that good at all. Just like the contrast.
The Valley Girl
when someone
was so
talks
high
to
above
someone,
because A, she was able to deliver long lines very quickly, which almost no one else in the movie could do.
Yes.
I like want to be a counselor, so I'm like shadowing everyone.
right.
And Daniel lets me follow him around all the time. He's another counselor. He's like totally awesome, like really cool.
All right.
Yeah, I wonder if some of these editing and choices are like, we just don't have it. We'll have them do this. Well, we have to cut to that guy while this other guy's talking, right? Okay, what do you got?
Speaking of we just don't have it. So the time travel happens. They park and like mud.
Oh,
and
yeah,
their car's being slapped.
Keep trying the cell phones.
What the fuck is that?
Or something. And I don't know what's happening. And I wonder very much what it said is happening in the script. Because something is happening that they couldn't display. Because at one point, the Jen character, Olivia said her name is like, if you would have seen what we saw last night, you wouldn't be making these kind of jokes.
Quit spazzing out! Look, I know you think it was funny, but after the night we had last night, it was pretty fucking stupid.
Or pranks or whatever it is. And I'm like, what did you see last night?
Someone threw mud at your car somehow.
And
like, what are you talking
Vade
about?
goes you were seeing things. Seeing things? Either mud was getting slapped against your car or not.
What? What are you looking at? Did you see it? What did you see? I don't know.
Yeah.
You didn't feel the need to roll up the windows or close the sunroof. So I think maybe it just was the sunroof, but the angle was constantly through that. And I was like, did you feel like you were in danger?
No shit, asshole.
You need to run for it.
You must be crazy. Babe, we don't know what the hell's out there.
Would you rather stay trapped in here?
Yes.
People were physically touching the car, at least as what I believed was happening.
Mario, wake the fuck up!
I thought someone was flinging mud, and then at some point I thought someone said blood.
What the fuck is it? That's blood! That's blood! Get the fuck out of here!
Yes.
Or does blood just rhyme with
She said
mud?
blood. I heard that too.
So bloody mud is hitting the car. I think the script said the ground opens up and swallows the Jeep.
Now we've crossed the line, fallen through time, living in the land of the lost.
Like Land of the Lost.
And then you have a little dinosaur friend and a little lizard people.
I couldn't imagine, because the very next scene they just all fell asleep, and I'm like, okay, if your car was just assaulted, do you just fall asleep? But then, after everyone was being murdered around them, they fell asleep too. So I'm like, I guess that's just what you do.
So I took both those scenes. I hoped that both those scenes were them freaking out, and then like the next thing I know, I'm waking up, and you don't know.
Oh, like it was reset, and here you are waking up.
Because in my mind, obviously, you weren't like, oh no, what's happening? Things are hitting the car. Well, and just like decide to go to sleep. It has to have been a weird.
It appears the Kyle
thing.
XY character slept for 30 hours though.
He looks dead. I wish I could sleep like that.
He shouldn't have needed to go to sleep, yes.
Like, he literally slept forever, and like they joke about how they can't wake him up, and I'm like, it would be impossible to not wake him up.
Get Mario's.
He left his at home. Will someone wake him up? Mario!
It's like waking the dead.
That's another great point. So you can take anything like that, and like we have the privilege of hindsight here, but it's like something like that. Okay, we have like a repeating thing with a dream sequence kill and this and that, and the Kyle XY is psychic or whatever, and the whole intro he's asleep, and they're like, he's dead to the world, we can't wake him up, and this does not matter at all. It does not come up at all. No. He was the one dreaming of all the murders.
Why didn't I see it?
You let your feelings get in the way.
But yet there's no thing of him in the dream world or him sleeping, or when he falls asleep, something else happens. There's nothing at all. It's actually amazing.
No. All the inside jokes about them not knowing they're in the 80s and referencing things from today. Yeah. Like, do you have a cell phone? The only cell phone here is at the penitentiary.
You guys have a cell phone we can borrow?
Only place you can borrow a cell phone is at the state prison in Lewiston. But you can use our phone back at the camp.
What?
Oh, God, is that in the movie?
Okay,
oh,
I get what you're saying there.
Oh, no.
Do you have the net? Or like anywhere I can get online?
Internet? We have a fishing
net. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You guys have any computers with internet?
We have a fishing net.
Sorry. No computers.
None?
You guys think we're the government or something?
So much of the script, or so much of like the first half an hour after the opening, that chunk is devoted to this, like, fish out of water, you don't know what I'm talking about, and hey, you guys are dressed all weird. No, you guys are dressed all weird. What are you, like, from London or some weird? Oh God, when the one guy says my name is Mario and the other guy says hola mi amigo.
Mario. Ah, mucho gusto mi amigo.
Like, con mucho gusto. I'm like, what the hell is that even? What is happening? It's so confusing.
Vader. Oh, he's named after Darth Vader. That wouldn't even be a timely thing. He's clearly like 18 years old.
Listen, in 2005 or whatever, they didn't know that Star Wars would still be popular today. So they had to future-proof the movie and act like whatever. Yeah, crazy. It's like my last name? Ugh, like whatever.
As in Darth Vader.
As in my last name.
Yeah.
That guy sucked.
Would mean his sister's name is also Vade.
Yeah, but she doesn't go by
she calls him Vade.
Dang!
Oh, what?
Look! It's the car!
That's weird.
Mario, Luigi, Mario. That's how we do.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's three. There's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
When they first pan out and like they're like, whoa, military vehicle? It's an SUV, and they keep saying a BUS or whatever. But when they first did that wide pan, you realize how short that Hobbit girl really is.
Is that why you're calling her
She's
that?
like 3 feet tall.
Okay.
Because the other girl is way taller than her, and then she's like way shorter than the guy. And like, unless the guy's like 100 feet tall, she's so small. She's like 4'2" or something. Like, very tiny.
I didn't catch this. I would need to see them doing mugshot style photos to figure out the relative heights.
Very tiny.
Oh
no. Gotta go into some lines here, because this movie has some,
a plethora.
I'll say, like, great lines. I know these roads like the back of my dick.
We're lost.
Please. I know these roads like the back of my dick.
I blocked out these lines, I think. Keep going.
Do I look like a dweeborama?
That was great, though.
These clothes you're wearing.
Oh, why? Do I look like a total dweeborama?
Valley Girl had some good ones.
That's how we used to talk in the before time.
So Vade says they think they heard something in reference to that night before.
Did you hear anything weird in the woods last night?
Weird.
Angel and Jen think they heard something last night.
Think?
And I'm like, they think they heard something.
He was there screaming with everyone else.
Saw things were happening.
Wasn't there mud on the car the next day?
The car wasn't there the next day, right? Didn't they get out and the car was gone or something?
No.
Something tells me we're not in Kansas anymore.
It's like we stepped into the twilight zone.
What about last night?
How did that work?
No.
The rule was the car's only there at night, but they woke up in the car.
They woke up in the car, surrounded by campers.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay in there?
Hey, Nair, are you like all right?
Whoa.
Who were like, hey, what's going on? We're campers from the 80s.
And the car was there throughout the day for like
apparently
when they needed it to be there for
But
plot.
then when they came back,
it was gone.
Well, they like couldn't get there or something. There was something, yeah.
Some weird
and then
shit.
at night, yeah.
You came in at night, so the car's here at night. Why did the time of day have to change in the first place anyway?
Nothing
And
has
like
to
these rules are so steadfast. Where it's like, how do you know any of these rules? This is the first time, presumably, you've ever had an opportunity to encounter anybody else to swap with, to do this, to know that one year of the day we should be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Tonight's the actual night it all started. Tonight's August 26th.
We think that tonight is the one time that we could break the cycle.
This is bullshit.
To know about the car, it'll come back at night. You're seemingly making up everything, but it all is accurate. Like, you are the own manifest destiny, bitch. Like
every time we nitpick how it all works, I immediately start thinking about like, oh, you can have some counselors who were also stranded in the time between the original time and now. And then have them be like, yo, I'm like you, help me.
I'm from 92.
Yeah,
I'm from blah, blah, blah.
I'm from 1992. I keep dying every night too. They think that I don't know. Chill. Because one person's like, this is crazy. I saw you all die last night. And then it's like, calm down. Bring them to the infirmary. Or whatever,
well, it would be hard to
Some
do that.
Weird
They
thing.
think I don't know because in order to become a counselor, as a stranded person, you would have to know because you would have.
No. They wouldn't be a counselor. They would just be like a kid there who's now just folded into the whole thing or something.
But what I mean is to be folded in any way, you would have to know what's happening, unless your memory literally gets wiped, and then it would be like, wait, who the fuck am I?
Yeah, I think all the kids do not have any memory of, like of the day. Yeah.
They don't have memories of the previous day, but if you got lost there,
you would have the memory of your
previous life. Yeah, and how did I get here?
That's why he has to play it cool.
I guess. There's something there. I don't think it's that, but there's something there.
They put other clothes on them. That's what I'm saying, though. There needs to be some reason why it matters that we are in a loop. Someone else has to. And they tried that with the guy that sleeps in the barn now, who tells them everything that's happening, right?
I would have loved just to ride the loop out one more time to save your friends. I don't know why that wasn't attempted.
That needs to be how this all
And even if it took you a
about.
full year,
like
you could do it like how they would in The Good Place, like snap through just a million little cuts that are just showing like one scene of what that next day is, flash forward a month later, blah, 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 or someone Xing the same day on the calendar a million times.
You could have fit in more deaths, you could have fit in more things, you could have just record like a bunch of failed attempts to get information from someone. Groundhog Day it, right?
Yeah.
Where it's them slowly learning exactly what they have to do to make the day work out the way that they want, right? This could be such an amazing movie.
In about 5 seconds, a waiter's going to drop a tray of dishes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay?
Yeah, like the person saying I'm getting better at the bow and arrow, they should be a god by now.
Because they've had 20 years.
Even if you've only been doing it every day for a whole year, which it's been at least a year because this is the anniversary, but it's actually been a million years because it's from the 80s. Like,
it's been 21 years, you said,
but
right?
You should be god tier at anything you're attempting.
Exactly. And they have a line at one point like, I think those two are the ones who die first. And you're like, they don't. You saw a guy die hours earlier in the day. What's going on? The movie transports you into a different time and place.
And like that
girl's
girl's making weapons, and it's not just for the purpose of killing these people in the future. Like she had to have already been making those weapons because everything she makes today gets reset.
So you made all this stuff? What?
Presumably, right? Yeah.
You would think. I don't think there's anywhere to go.
Just
you
loves
could
weapons.
potentially, through memory, have a round robin tournament in the of basketball because you know, like, okay, you won 2 yesterday. All right, here we go. And just keep going.
The score just why does the score always start some random number? Shut up. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I wanted to bring up some of the effects and stuff here and there because for the most part they're bad. There's a lot of strangulations and then like blood starts coming out of the mouth.
Yeah.
The usual horrible things. But I liked one dude gets like his skull chopped off
with a saw blade.
Yeah, and it's all goofy and funny. But I liked the way that it looked with the fake brain in there. I think the brain is too small and like the skull is too thick or something, right? But it's it's like I still like that because the way it's like low in the frame, so you can't see anything. It's night, and all the kids freaking out.
Well, and this is before you know what's what. And,
Yes.
And like that's a superhuman maneuver. Like you can't throw like a buzzsaw blade through a person's head like that
and have it just lop off the top of the head. Yes,
you have to be like a hurricane speed. Like that's crazy.
But
I like it.
That's how it works in the movie.
That's the second time we see a blade thrown when they're like in the woods. He like throws one, but you don't like see it connect. But the girl, like the blonde girl, falls. She's like ah, and I'm like ah. And this is earlier on too when the Kyle XY gets like blamed twice for murders.
Yes.
And you're at that time going like, wait a minute, if time's repeating, and that's where like you're like, okay, I guess not everyone remembers because you can't think, oh, this person's a murderer if you know you're about to get murdered later on by somebody else.
That's another good thing they could have done where they're
this is his first time there.
Yeah, where they're like blaming the new people for stuff that happens and it ruins the whole thing that they have going, right? Their fun nightly murder scenario. Another thing that I liked, which is probably also bad, is when the arrow comes out of his neck. Like something about the way that it was filmed, I thought was a good bad effect. Where it has like stuff on it, and it kind of makes you feel like it was coming out of the hole, but it's not obviously because his neck is there, right?
It's prosthetics built up over and it just tears the centerpiece of it.
It's got like shit on it.
They didn't put enough blood on the inside of the hole or
stuff.
anything. It's just like his skin color, if I remember.
Right. It's not it's not good, but I thought it was bad good. I was like, okay, because something about the motion of it and like pulling strands.
It relied so
of
heavily that this
something,
person kicks the door in brutally to even hurt this kid.
The trap is hilarious because the trap is basically he like bars the door so it has to be broken in.
Yeah.
The dude has like a fucking thing in his mouth. He's trying to yell like, "Don't break the door down. The arrow will kill me," and then it kills them. Yes.
What's the buzz with the studs?
Are you guys boinking? Who's boinking? That was great.
What's the buzz with the hot studs?
Can you speak English for once?
Don't get your tatas all in a bunch.
Freaking speak Chen! Well, shit!
There's one scene that I'm like, oh, I honor the commitment. When like the two stoners get speared together, and the one just like spits in the guy's face.
Yeah.
Good shit, huh? Yeah.
I'm like, all right, and they reuse that shot later because like that's a good one. Let's reuse that shot.
It's good. He doesn't want to do that again, so we got to just reuse the same shot. Yes. That was a little bit of that flavor you're talking about like just rapidly show everything to give us the point that it's repeating, right? Yeah. But that was just, he had some blood in his mouth, and several people just kind of go, and the blood just comes out. And he was like, and the guy was like, oh God, right? But they all maintained until the end of the shot.
The worst would be if you didn't, and you're like, God, that for nothing.
Like, for nothing. Exactly.
My fucking God. Jen, I'm so full, I think my twat is gonna explode.
Hey, Rubes!
There's a part where the blonde girl and the guy in the woods, and the guy gets stabbed repeatedly, and each time it makes a careful note to show the knife go up and down, and the kid's getting bloodier and bloodier and bloodier, but the knife never has a drop of blood on it at all. And Kyle XY like encounters this girl who sees him come upon these bodies, and he's like, and she's like, ah, you killed them! And I'm like, why is that girl in the woods? Like, isn't everybody on like lockdown at this point?
I think when she dies, she gets hit with an arrow, and they do that thing where like it's Sam Raimi and it's like following the arrow to her. Yeah.
Castro.
That was Michelle!
I appreciated that, but the transition is very rough from like the to the actual hit is like, ugh, that's missing or has too much or something in the middle. It was not
something
cleanly pulled off, right? Yeah, there's a scene actually that maybe you can help me out with. Because I think the one guy who is hung and being strangled or whatever, but he's faking it.
Ruben?
Yeah. Is Ruben faking being... Because it just sort of cuts, I think, to a shot in a mirror, and then he's just standing in front of the noose, and then he's killing the guy. The hard body guy who was like antagonizing him throughout the movie, he murders him or something.
I may have blocked it out. I can't remember if at the time I was like, oh, that's him died in the last one, or if I remember this and that. But yeah, I remember some fuckery with Ruben's character.
Something weird happened there. Yes. I wasn't sure what I was looking at or what it was meant to be showing me. Because I think it was supposed to be like, oh, he's a genius, he's a mastermind. He pretended to hang him. I'm like, you can't pretend to hang yourself. What's happening? He's just gonna chill out there, strung up by the neck, waiting for this guy to come in, and then be so distraught that he looks away just so he can kill him.
Yeah.
That's how things work.
So much of the movie, I'm just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And that's a theme. That's what makes this a good group watch. Is
yes.
That it's ludicrous.
There's a confusion and a need for answers that will never come.
Yeah.
That is, but it's not so incoherent that you would lose interest or not be able to engage with it, right? It's right in the sweet spot of like WTF, where you want to turn to the person next to you and say like, what, why, what's going on? How are they still alive? How are they dead?
Exactly. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Camp Hiawatha.
Hiawatha!
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion